This is a photo of a shipyard in China. It shows 9 warships, a missile defense system, an aircraft carrier, and a hovercraft, all being built simultaneously in Shanghai. And this is just one of several shipyards churning out warships. All these ships are part of China's new Navy, which started off as a coastal defense force protecting its shores, and has rapidly become a massive group of integrated fleets, capable of reaching further and further out as China becomes a global military power. But China insists it's not interested in using all this power to dominate the region. According to a recent government report, the Navy is only there to defend itself and its interests, and will never try to seek hegemony, expansion, or spheres of influence. So what does China's rapid naval expansion mean for its neighbors? Here's what China sees when it looks outside its borders.
It's one of the biggest military vessels Japan has commissioned.
A menacing reminder of Vladimir Putin's military ambition.
Chinese subs are a potential target.
The Indo-Pacific region is becoming increasingly volatile as China, India, the US and others jockey for control. To stay on top, China has dredged islands in the South China Sea for new military bases, expanded its Marine Corps from 20,000 troops to 100,000, and introduced a whole host of new military technologies to its naval arsenal. As China's economy has grown, it has used its wealth to secure strategic locations for any future use by its navy. Money has been poured into ports across the Indian Ocean in order to secure access rights. And it's not just money, it's also about resources. China's large Coast Guard fleets are supplemented by maritime militias, posing as fishermen but answering directly to the military. They have harassed Vietnamese and Filipino fishing fleets in an effort to control resource-rich regions like the South China Sea. And some regional leaders have already accepted China's economic dominance.
When Xi says, I will fish, who can prevent him?
China's naval forces now operate on a 2-track path. On the one hand, its militias and Coast Guard are dominating vital regions, intimidating the vessels of other countries in order to establish control.
What we've seen in the last few years is when there's been disputes, there's been a constant reaching for diplomatic channels. It's a diplomatic game that China is playing and other countries are playing in the region.
On the other, the size and power of the Navy itself is stopping China's neighbors from pushing back against this low-level harassment.
China doesn't want to engage in a military strategy. It uses military power to enhance its influence across the region, but it's all part of the same package.
Even though the seas surrounding China are increasingly under its control, its Navy hasn't slowed down. Instead, it has extended its reach, with China's Navy running joint exercises further afield with Pakistan, Iran, South Africa and Russia. All this has made China's neighbors increasingly fearful of the giant in their midst. In response to live-fire drills near Taiwan, the US recently rushed through a large arms sale for the Taiwanese government. And after China showed off its anti-ship and hypersonic missiles, Japan started beefing up its own missile defenses and navy. As China's military expands its influence, the potential for conflict is growing. Its neighbors are unable at the moment to go up against this rapidly expanding regional power. They're concerned for the future, quietly arming and forging their own alliances in an effort to protect themselves against the rise of a regional superpower.